Hi friends, Christine McKinley here with the Orlando Real Estate Chicks. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So happy to have you. I am going to go over something very exciting. I think it's very exciting. New construction in Oviedo. But today we're going to go over new construction townhomes in Oviedo. And why is this exciting? Number one, I already did a video on new construction homes in Oviedo, and those were like upwards of $800,000, which in this market with these rates are not necessarily affordable for everyone. So today I am excited to share with you something that is more affordable in Oviedo, and that is the new construction townhomes. Now, this is near and dear to my heart because my very first home that I ever bought was a new construction townhome in Oviedo. So this brings back a lot of really great memories, and I wish I never sold that place. I'm so annoyed with myself, but real estate can often make you look like a genius if you give it time, and I did not give that townhome any more time. And it deserved more time. So I bought a 3-story townhome at Oviedo on the Park when I first decided I wanted to buy a home. And at that point, Oviedo on the Park was nothing but dirt. And the amazing new construction realtor that was working that community at the time was Christina Rochetti. Shout out Christina, you are fantastic. She sold every new construction townhome in Oviedo for like, I don't know, 4 years or something. Now we have Oviedo on the Park, and it is up and running, and it is even more amazing than when I bought there. And these communities are not at Oviedo on the Park because they're out of land, but they are very close to it. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and we are going to go through some options. If you are relocating to Oviedo, I am your girl for anything Oviedo real estate, whether it is new construction, resale. And this page is dedicated to a lot of Oviedo real estate, but if you're curious about another part of town, just drop a comment below or reach out to me in this QR code, and I will be happy to give you a tour of that town too. Let's get into it. This is every single new construction townhome community that is currently on the market in Oviedo. And as you can see, there are only 3, which is actually a lot. You know, if we have no new construction single family home communities and we have 3, that's pretty good. So let's go through where these are. And as you can see, before I do that, the prices range from $400,000 to $538,000. So you would think that townhomes would be a little bit less, but these are pretty good size, fantastic areas. And so that's why they're priced the way that they are. And you know, pricing is determined by supply and demand. So we are out of land in Oviedo, and that's why they are charging these prices, and that's why they are getting these prices. Now, things are negotiable in new construction. So if you're curious about getting a better deal with new construction than this, also reach out to me and I'll show you how to do that. But just for the sake of this video, I'm going to pull up the map here. So where there's little green dots, those are the communities. So here is Oviedo. Let me see, downtown, or I guess Oviedo on the Park is right here. If you can kind of follow my mouse, that is Oviedo on the Park. That is where my very first house ever was. So if you're familiar with Oviedo, you know exactly where I'm talking about. If you're not familiar with Oviedo, go back into my video on my either driving tour or Oviedo map tour to give you a better idea of where these townhomes are. Or better yet, come into town and I'll give you a tour of Oviedo. So let's start with this townhome community right here off Clark Street. This is a really, really cute part of Oviedo. This is kind of like your old Oviedo area. So this is in the heart of Oviedo. I would say this is probably walking distance kind of to Oviedo on the Park, but if you've seen any of my other videos, this right here is my favorite part of Oviedo. These are like big lots, just old school Oviedo houses, no HOA. So these here are very close to 426, which is a Loma. So this road will take you all the way into Winter Park. It will connect you to the 417. Right here, it takes you to the Oviedo Mall, which I don't even know what's in the Oviedo Mall anymore, to be honest with you. that's a whole other video. But as you can see, these are really nice. Now, I will tell you, as good as this location is, this right here is a cemetery. You will have very quiet neighbors, but I do want to tell you that this is a cemetery. So if that bothers you, then you are just going to want to skip this one completely and move on to the other ones. But for those of you that this does not bother, let's kind of go through the listings here. Now, this is in Allens Square. So that is the community. These are, well, this one specifically is 1,700 square feet, a 3-2. This is not a corner lot. And I like this entrance. It's a really nice entrance. So you kind of walk in, you have an open kitchen here. Now you'll see that there's no fridge, and that's just because builders, for whatever reason, don't like to give you a fridge. Now, is that negotiable? Yes. Yes, it is. It is definitely negotiable. Now, a lot of these new construction townhomes, they're not going to have a bedroom on the first floor. All the bedrooms are going to be up, and typically the master is separate from the other bedrooms, but they are all upstairs. And again, this one is 1,700 square feet, so it has a cute little courtyard. Looks like it might connect you to, yep, your 2-car garage right there. So love that. Oh, one thing I really love about this is that this has a driveway and a 2-car garage. So you do want to look for that if you are looking at a townhome, especially if this is a 3-bedroom and maybe you do have 3 cars. If you only have a garage to park in, then the 3rd car is going to be looking for spaces on the street when they come home, which is typically not a big deal. These builders do think about stuff like that, but you know, it's nice to have the driveway for sure. So this is by Beazer Homes, which Beazer is a very reputable company. Nothing outstanding about them, nothing not outstanding about them. I'd say that they're kind of the middle of the road, great product, and these are going to come with lots of fantastic warranties. So let me see this one at Allens Square. So Allens Square has some for $455, another one for $481, and then they also have the most expensive one. Let's just go ahead and look at that on Lola Lane for $538. So this is a end unit, which is always going to be much more expensive than the rest. And this looks really cute. This is definitely their model, unless this is virtually staged, but I don't think so. Yeah, this looks like their model. And sometimes the models come furnished. So I would love to see if anyone is interested in this one, if this one does come furnished, which that is incredible. Super cute. So this one, $538, an end unit, almost 1,900 square feet. That is huge. So that is why it is $538, because it is the model, it's huge, and it's an end unit. And mostly all the models are going to be the end unit because they're going to pick the nicest ones. So super, super cool. So if you don't want to live by the cemetery, I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest with you. I would be interested to see what people think. There is part of the community that actually the front door looks out to the cemetery, because I've been inside those units. I've shown them, and I don't know. You tell me. What do you think about that? All right, so here's another one. This is right on Aloma, right on 426. Aloma turns into a few things. So it's like Aloma turns into 426, that turns into Broadway whenever you go deeper into Oviedo. So just keep in mind that that's really all the same road. So let's see what they have for us here. Now, before I get into that, I will say this is a fantastic part of Oviedo, because where a lot of traffic is in Oviedo is right down this road on Mitchell Hammock here. So coming home, if you live east of 434, really had to use my brain, east of 434, you will have traffic at that 5 p.m. time, because this right here, as you can see, these are all the Duda sod farms. They cannot expand this road. And so as they've built Oviedo in the Park, and as they've built more into Alafaya Woods and all of this new construction right here, they could not expand this road. So there is a little bit of a bottlenose effect there. Now, there's multiple ways to get into Oviedo. That's not like the only way to get into Oviedo, but if you bought one of these new construction townhomes, you would be avoiding all of that traffic. So that's kind of cool. Now let's look here. You're also super close to the Masters Academy. This is a fantastic private school, and people drive and drop their kids off from all over Orlando to go to the Masters Academy. If you have kids in elementary school and you're thinking about putting them into the school, get on the wait list right now. Elementary school is really difficult to get into for the Masters because, I don't know, they're just full. It's very, very, very popular, beautiful campus. Your kids are in uniform. I mean, 10 out of 10. Good kids come from Masters Academy. So let's look at this one. You'd be very, very close to it. So this is Brentwood Landing. This looks like it is an end unit, over 1,900 square feet for $495. So this is already a better deal than the Allens Landing one. That one was the master. Okay, so this is new construction, but not from the builder. This is, someone bought this and is reselling it. No problem. They could have had better pictures, but I digress. Let's look at another one that is in Brentwood Landing, actually. Let's see. So this one at 507, we want one directly from the builder. Okay, yeah, this is going to be directly from the builder. So there are people who bought from the builder and then prices increase with each release of townhome. So naturally they're going to increase in price. So if you get in with the builder early, you're going to pay a much better price than if you buy one of the last remaining units in the neighborhood. So that's what happened with that last one. But anywho, so this is for 507, 2025 build, 1,900 square feet, a 3, 2.5, and yeah, absolutely stunning. I love the rail that they did. I like it when it's not just drywall. So this one's definitely had its upgrades. If you are brand new to new construction, please reach out to me. There are so many nuances with new construction as far as what's worth it to upgrade now with the builder, what's worth it to upgrade later, structural stuff. Gosh, there's so much. They only give you 5 photos. Okay, that's not that fun. They want you to come into the model, which is great. And if you want a realtor to represent you with new construction, which trust me, you do, I can tell you horror stories. It is free for you to have a realtor. The builders know that 90% of people that walk in there have a realtor. So make sure the first time you go to the builder, you bring your realtor, or else they will not let you bring a realtor in later, which is absolutely crazy. They do not want you to have your own representation, and trust me, you want to have your own representation. So in Brentwood Landing, we have one for 507, another one for 495, and we have a little bit smaller one, not even 100 square feet smaller, for 454. This probably just is not an end unit. Yeah, an internal unit. Some of these internal units have only a 1-car garage, so that is something to think about. Wow, that is stunning. That is a very stunning. Okay, they do not like to give you a lot of photos. Okay, so we have some floor plans. If you're interested in these, please reach out to me. I will get you way more info than what they're putting on the MLS. So super cute, great area. If this is something that you're looking for, if you are looking for a Masters Academy, a nearby Masters Academy home, either of these are going to work for you. Great location. You're probably a 5-minute drive to Oviedo on the Park. I mean, you're still very much in Oviedo, but this does give you a lot of flexibility. You're close to 417. You are close to getting into Winter Park. So if you need to commute, this could be a really good option for you. And let's go to the next community, which is very close by. Again, I don't really need to give you the spiel on the area because I kind of just did with these. This, I will add, this here is called Lucas Nursery. This is a fantastic nursery. Also, people come from all over to come to that nursery. It's huge. As you can see, it has this side of the street and this side of the street. So that's kind of cool that you're near all of that. Now, this is a different look. I love the brown. The Towns at Greenleaf. So this is another Beezer community. And this one is 1,500 square feet for $426. Again, that's not going to be what you pay for it. So contact me to get a better deal. And this is an interior unit. And it did look like this whole community was like surrounded by woods. Now, that's not to say it's going to stay woods forever. It could definitely be built on. So always make sure whenever you're buying a house, especially new construction, that the area that your unit backs up to, just see who owns it, see if it's private land or what. These are stunning. These are so beautiful. Ugh, I love a townhome. I love to lock up and just leave. You don't have to think about any of the maintenance on the outside or anything like that. So these HOAs are going to cover the outside maintenance of your home and, of course, the community pool and all that good stuff. So these seem to be one of the more affordable options. So the Towns at Greenleaf have the 3 lowest prices. They are also the smallest. So we're looking at $400, $411, and $426. We have another one at $487. This is probably your end unit. Yep. So the end unit looks like is the only one with the 2-car garage, which is really nice to have. I will say the first one, the one that's across from the cemetery, you might have to get over the fact that it's across from the cemetery because those were the ones with every unit had a 2-car garage and a driveway. So you have to think about these things. If you have a lot of drivers in your household, that is something to think about. My community that I bought, that was the very first house that I bought that I was telling you guys about before, part of the 2 stories had a 1-car garage and no one really complained about it. If you are downsizing or if you are single, that is a fantastic option. And those had driveways for 1 car, so you could always park in your driveway and then use the garage for storage, of course. Okay, well, if you guys have any questions about new construction in Oviedo, whether it's townhomes, single family homes, if you want to look at new construction in Winter Springs, let me know in the comments because there's a good amount of new construction also in Winter Springs that's right around the same price point, but a completely different product. Let me know. As you can see, I love this stuff. I geek out over it. So if you have any questions on new construction, how to get the best deal, how to get down payment assistance, how to get a better rate, how to get, your closing costs covered by the builder, I am your girl. I'm very experienced when it comes to new construction, especially in Oviedo, and I have a relationship with all of these builders. So reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you relocate to Oviedo. Bye.